What's going on, shipmates? We are back here in Echo. It seems like we have another weekly reset going on, and something I did notice is that I believe they have changed the actually, I wouldn't say the reset, but definitely when it comes to new units, there's a new day. So this has happened 2 weeks in a row already, where Thursdays it seems like we have a new reset on the actual featured units. So that it's I want to say it's because of New Year's Day they did a whole new one, and the New Year's Day was on Thursday, and then this past Thursday was I guess technically another reset for the featured banner for Sumney, and then we had a new one, which is the current one, the Bifrost MR Masa, which we will get to in a minute. But just a quick side note, it looks like we might have changed that. Um, so I will check this week. We'll check here in the video to see if maybe this Thursday will be another. Maybe that's going to be the new recess instead of Sundays. But we'll see and find out. Other than that, welcome back, shipmates, to the channel. We are here. We are reviewing. We're looking at the newest MR cases that are being set and released now in this game. We don't have too many, so this is quite an adventure. We have, like I said, with the second year anniversary, they introduced these MR units, so now we are pretty much looking them over, seeing what their skills do basically, and I kind of give a quick little, like almost like kind of like a first impressions, first type of look at the MR unit and seeing kind of how she would fit into your team and whatnot. Some of the units I do have done like a deeper analysis and deeper review, but I'm kind of picking and choosing as I'm going because I'm trying to treat this one a little bit different than last year when we got first introduced to the URs. So anyway, I'll cover that more in depth with my video I'll be releasing later this week with the more updated where the game is, what's the state of it, where's it going, how the new units are doing and whatnot. Anyway, moving on, let's get this video started, kicked off. It's not going to be too long because there isn't actually too much with this new reset. So first things first, patrol wise, King of the King of the Cage is pretty much done. I'm recording this Sunday night, so you'll see it probably Monday morning, so it'll be done by then. We still have 2 more days for Euphoria City. I didn't mention it in my last video that do please try to do this little patrol as much as possible, because of this shop you get a lot of free stuff here, or not free, but essentially you're gonna build up these silver swords. I mean, I have 50,000 and I just barely did, like I only did the first castle, the 5 floors, and then I just been collecting every day, but I have enough to get this URK selection right there. I have enough for the UR arms to pair with that, and possibly the Elemano. All good, and then if I do have any left over, I'll use it on the Neolith. Very good right now. Starting off, I mean, if you're here, or even if you haven't gotten caught up all the way on these UR cases, this is a good place to kind of catch up and get ahead of the game as well. Especially they also have the UR equipment fragments and the UR Chimera fragments as well. Excuse me. So definitely a good place. Definitely take it part. This is the second time it's been here. It looks like it comes for here for about a week, leaves for a week, and then comes back again. So something to definitely pay attention to. Finish strong, stuff like that. Other than that, that's going to be the same for our case and modulate stars, the glory star progress little event here. This one we have the 20 summons, S Elementium summons. So definitely take part of this one. Get those free by completing the daily task here at the bottom. And for this one, it's the 20 living metal for this one. So both pair well, because obviously if you get the unit, you're going to want to get the weapon that pairs with them, or the vibration arm as well. All right, so that's pretty much it for those. Now we're going to move on to the story event. So Old Law is still here. This is MR Nana, I believe. Excuse me, 3 more days. Everything's unlocked. All 3 chapters. Get your rewards. They're here. Boss mode. If you got it, MR Katana is there as the boss. And definitely don't forget to get your proof of bond, which I have not gone. to increase that infinity. That does increase your power, and the S Elementiums, the 5 that you can get from that. We also have weapon R&D. This is pretty much over, so this is just kind of like an honorary mention. You do get rewards from this by hitting these research attempts, but other than that, it does have its own little shop. Some decent stuff here. I mean, we have some MRU or SSR generic medium selection chests. We do have 30 S Elementiums. The battle research shop has basic, nothing too crazy there, and then the regular supply shop if you want to get into that. But yeah, this one's pretty much here for like an hour. Yeah, I have an hour left. This is pretty much just like kind of like a weekend thing, and then it kind of disappears. So anyway, if you do, looks like it's interested you, next time it comes in, definitely hit it up. Now, we do have now the story, the new story event here for Frontline Pursuit. This is MR Masa from Bifrost. All right, so this is her little story event. As usual, it's going to be the expedition type of story. The first 2 chapters are unlocked. By the time you see this tomorrow, the 3rd chapter will unlock, so you'll be able to finish it and get it all done pretty much in one fell swoop. So other than that, the shop is the same. I just got the 2 Elementium and the Proof of Bonds now, but oops, everything else has been the same. The little memory thing, the little avatar, all that stuff. So, but there's no little special mini game in here as well. So like I said, pretty basic story, boss mode, shop, move on. If you do decide to get this character chase after, definitely get this here, the blockade breach, because you do get little rewards here for getting the unit. All right, so that's it. Let's move on to the meat and potatoes of this whole video, is actually looking at the unit MR Masa. So first, Drunken Blade MR Katana came back. She's here for another 6 days or another week. No regrets. MR Nana, of course, she is still here for 3 more days. So that 3 more days, so like this is what I was talking about. She was here last Thursday, so in 3 days, so an hour and 14 minutes. That's gonna be Monday, right? Because it's pretty much close to midnight, and then 3 more days on top of that. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So Thursday, it looks like we'll be getting another. Either she's gonna go away, and we're just gonna have, you know, Drunken Blade, maybe somebody else, and then either that or MR Masa is gonna be switched to that secondary spot with Katana, and then a new one, which I believe, little hint, I believe Nebu is the next faction that they're gonna feature for the next MR unit. So just a heads up there. So those are the 2 that are still there, and of course we have Truth Insight Masa. She's here for another 10 days. So as you can see here, a week from today will be Sunday, and then of course 3 more days will be the Thursday, and with the little leftover hour that's there. So as you can see here, it does definitely look like every Thursday now is going to be the new reset. So it's not going to be Sunday. There's going to be some small changes, like of course Nana or something like that will be changed out. Like there's some shorter, smaller ones, but the main feature looks like it's going to be on Thursdays now. So just a little heads up on that. We'll check it out this Thursday. So I will change probably the day these come out. Instead of doing them on Sunday, Monday, I'll probably change it to Friday, Thursday or Fridays to feature these videos. That way it's fresh and you have time to look all that. Anyway, so moving on, let's take a look. So Snapshot Burst Bifrost DPS. I did look over the skills in a hindsight, in a summary, very DPS focused, nothing too crazy as far as like extra condition buffs, situations, stuff like that. Pure basic DPS. All right, so before we get into that and look into all that, we're gonna start off right here. So Masa is the first Thunder Element unit that we have gotten. We have 1 fire, which is Katana, and then the 2 other ones are both wind. Excuse me. So let's see what this Thunder of Ruin element does. So when allied thunder cases gain 100 pneumonia, deals thunder damage equal to 250% of allies' average attack to 3 random enemies, and apply Spark on them for 3 rounds. This can trigger at most once per battle. So what is Spark? Spark reduces defense by 20%. 30% of the damage taken by thunder cases, so by these units here, by Masa, is transferred to other allies carrying spark, triggering at most 3 times per round. So essentially what that's doing is keeping your DPS units, which are higher DPS attributes, right? Because hers is 1100, most other ones are going to be less than that, base stats wise, right? And transferring that damage to your tanks, to your heavier health units who can take the hits and last longer in the battle. Because most of the DPS units, their higher basic trait's going to be an attack and not health. So they're going to have a lower average health than most of your other units, hence for your tanks, your healers, stuff like that. So essentially it's making your DPS unit, aka Masa here, last longer in the battle, doing more damage over time, putting out more damage to the enemy team. So not too bad, definitely a very interesting effect. So just keep that in mind when the next thunder element unit comes. Maybe grab them, put them together. So now let's take a look at the skills. Very simple, like I said. I'm going to read them off and then kind of do a summary toward the end. So skill 1, dealing 88% thunder magic damage to front row enemies, so the front 3, and recovers 25 pneumonia. That's it. Secondary here, continuously presses the shutter, dealing thunder magic damage equal to 202% attack to front row enemies. So both first and second skill are just plain simple magic damage. 88% for the first one, 202% for this one, and they're both hitting the front 3 row, the 3 front enemies in the row. Same thing, the 3 in the front. So, and then here we're taking a look at the super, the ultimate here, dealing thunder magic damage equal to 303% attack to front row enemies again. So the front 3, 303%. So each skill as it's moving on, progressing through the fight, doing more and more damage. And then applies exposure to 2 random front row enemies for 3 rounds. What is exposure? We're going to look at that here in the last passive skill listed here. At the start of a battle, applies 1 stack of exposure to 2 random front row enemies for 3 rounds. What is exposure? At the end of the round, the target receives additional damage equal to 30% of Masa's attack, stacking up to 4 times. I'll say that one more time, stacking up to 4 times. So a total possibility of 120% additional damage equal of Masa's attack. Plain and simple. Exposure is a small little attribute, little buff here that's going on. Passive means as soon as the battle starts, this is happening. So 2 enemies are getting it for 3 rounds, 1 stack. The other time a stack gets applied is when she does her ultimate. So another 2 random front row enemies. So the front 3, by time she gets to her ultimate, all 3 of them should have 1 to maybe 2 stacks of this exposure. At 2 stacks, you're doing 60% additional damage, where the other ones are doing 30. And then that just keeps going. Every time she does the ultimate is adding more and more stacks, doing more and more additional damage. Plain and simple. MR Masa, if you need a DPS unit, this is her. I have a Bifrost team. This is a decent DPS unit, even though the skills that she has are just straightforward when it comes to what they do. I do like the stacking. I mean, the passive, you get 2 enemies for 3 rounds, and then every time she does her ultimate, 2 more are getting hit for another 3 rounds of exposure. So depending on how fast you have her built and stuff like that, and how fast she's getting her ultimate, by the time you hit round 4, they're at 3 and 4 stacks at the max, doing 90 to 120% extra damage after the at the end of the round. So the whole round happens, everybody hits, and then she's hitting all those other front 3 for additional damage. So not bad at all. Links, we have Alina here, going to give her HP increased by 18%. Kalnika, going to be armor increased by 18%. Ganglery, If you did get her, her resistance would be by 18, increased by 18%. And you need both Zendaya and Samovilla to increase Masa's attack by 25%. So obviously you want the 25%. More attack means more damage, more stacks, more damage output. So plain and simple, nothing crazy. For me personally, I'm gonna skip this one just because of the Bifrost. I don't really have a spot. I have pretty much my team set right now, waiting for the next East Rise. But that's pretty much gonna be the end of the video. If you want to exit out, go ahead, leave a like, leave a comment. If you have any other questions, I'm just gonna summon. That's it. I'm gonna get those 20 free ones and save up for the next one. Of course, I'm gonna be. Ooh, we have an SSR. Nile. Did that eat? Oh, it did. Oh, let's back down to 0. Man, so a part of me wants to hit the pity just to get Katana again. But, oh, what? I was not paying attention. We just get MR Katana. Yes. That's what I'm talking about, shipmates. That's what I'm talking about. MR Katana might be my first maxed out unit that I have. I do have UR Ahun, who is 4-star. MR Katana is 4-star as well. Man, I do have enough to get her again. I might need to. Anyway, that was great. Other than that, shipmates, that's the end of the video. Like, subscribe, comment. If you have any other questions, or for any other about specific MR cases, please leave a comment. I will try to answer it in the comments, or I'll just make a video. If it's kind of too much to explain, then I'll do it that way. Oh, I got one of these. But other than that, that's it for the video. Appreciate everybody for watching. Good luck on all your summons. Let's see where the game's going. Other than that, thanks for watching once again. Fair winds and following seas. See you later, shipmates.